Hey, this is Tony Nagy, and we're on the third floor in the repair shop at Gruhn Guitars today. And I was going to take this time to talk to you about this guitar. It's a Mosrite Ventures guitar from the mid-60s. I think the neck date on this was like 66 or something like that. And this is an interesting story about guitar builders. Andy and I believe you say his name's Semi Mosley. They're from California. These two brothers used to experiment on guitars when they were teenagers and make new necks for guitars and stuff like that. And then the brothers, Semi Mosley, he's worked for Rickenbacker Guitars for a while, and also he apprenticed with Paul Bigsby too. So he understood all about the vibrato arm that Bigsby developed, and you can see, kind of his version of some of that here. And working at Rickenbacker also kind of helped shape some of the tone parts of this instrument, having really hot single coil pickups. And another attribute that he got from Rickenbacker was some German designer there. Don't remember his name, but he had this German carve. He actually taught Semi how to do that right there. So in 1956, the two brothers, they got some local pastor to invest money in the company, and his name was Ray Boatwright. And so they mixed the two names, Mosley and Boatwright, and they made the name Mosrite, and that's where the name comes from for these guitars. And they do have kind of a Rickenbacker-y look to them a little bit, and they have little thin necks like Rickenbackers do. And like I said, some of those attributes came from the design things came from his stint at Rickenbacker. This particular guitar came in needing a whole lot of neck work. And what we'll do is we'll look at some of the things I did and talk about some of the specific issues or challenges that you have when doing instruments like this. I refretted it, and I also had to, the binding on this side, on the bass side here, was shrunk really bad and pulled away from the fingerboard. So I actually had to heat that and stretch it back out before I glued it into position. And refretting these instruments has its own specific challenges too, because almost always, for some reason, on a lot of bound instruments in the late 50s and 60s, they really rounded over the edge of the fingerboard, because when they first put it on, they'd put the frets in and then they just glue the binding to the sides. And so that it didn't have to be a consideration for making it feel comfortable at the ends of the frets, because they were hidden by the binding stuck on the ends. So it's a real challenge though to refret these and to lay a little bit of the fret over the edge of the binding and have it all come together and be comfortable when you run your hand along it. So, but that challenge though, and also the fact that these instruments came with frets that were super, super low. For some reason, that was like a thing. And I guess not unlike they had for a period of time, Gibson even made the Les Paul that was the fretless wonder. They thought for some reason that people wanted, to come in real hard contact with the fingerboard, so they made these super low frets. Mosrite did the same, but they were a little too low and they wore through all the way to the tang on these. So we've refretted this as well. And it also has it's not that uncommon, but it's not the standard to have a 0 fret instead of like a bone nut or a metal nut there. And this has that as well. So the great thing about these guitars having a Rickenbacker influence, that they're used, like the Ventures, you hear all those shimmery, bright guitar sounds, and those flavors are because, that Semi Mosley worked at Rickenbacker, and so he brought those, as well as some of the design stuff, a lot of the thoughts about guitar tone with him on that. So this is the 1966 Mosrite Ventures guitar, and this will be up for sale here at Gruhn Guitars, and you can look at our entire inventory at guitars.com. Have a great day.